Gilly don't even got a song out. Like, that's a silly question. How can he be the king of Philly when I'm from Philly and I'm doing what I'm doing?
He already know where we at. Huh? We on the block Cassidy used to be on.
So why would Shorty even want to disrespect me, man? Like, don't disrespect me and then in the end try to clean it up because your brain finally came together off them drugs and you realized what you was saying.
You know, I shouted him out because, you know, I'm the king of Philly, so, you know, I'm the king, he's a rook. So it is what it is, man.
That's what
up.
Gilly just doing what he do.
He be scared to death of me.
In hip-hop, there's always some kind of showdown between two rappers trying to prove who's the best. Honestly, it's basically part of the culture. But when Cassidy decided to come for Gillie Da Kid, let's just admit he picked the wrong one to mess with.
And now you doing interviews disrespecting me, man? Didn't you try that before? Didn't I go to your block? Didn't I catch your ass backstage at Powerhouse? It was just me and my wife. Didn't I call all y'all ducks and one of y'all attempted to lift a finger? Huh? The whole city know this.
If you know Gilly, you know he's not the type to back down. This dude was knee-deep in the streets and had no problem letting people know it. Plus, industry beef, that's nothing new for him. Just look at the time he clashed with Lil Wayne. He didn't hold back, going straight for his pride.
Wayne, you're not real. At all.
Yeah, Wayne.
You're faking in them $3 bill.
Kiss nobody in their mouth.
And you kiss stun in his mouth.
So when Cassidy decided to stir the pot, it's safe to say he didn't read the room. Funny enough, Cassidy and Gilly actually go way back. They're both from the same Philly streets and even started out on a good note, dropping tracks together and repping their city.
I'm too fresh, no lie. I'm so fly, I need a.
But before you knew it, it was subliminal jabs everywhere. Although these days, it seems like things have cooled off between them. But how serious did it really get back then? Let's break it down. So, the tension between Cassidy and Gillie Da Kid didn't just pop out of nowhere. It had been simmering for a minute. By 2007, things officially kicked off, but the seeds were planted way before that. It all started back then. Gilly was busy carving out his lane, dubbing himself the King of Philly after his run with Cash Money and his major Figgis days.
Gilly Da Kid.
Meanwhile, after Cassidy beat his murder case in 2006, he got out and was flexing his success with I'm a Hustler, feeling like nothing could touch him. At first, the tension was low-key. In 2007, Cassidy's out here dropping freestyles, sliding in subliminal shots on some classic street DVDs. He's spitting lines like, I'm the one they fear, not the ones they cheer. And it doesn't take long for people to connect the dots. He's probably talking about Gilly. And if you know Philly, you know it's a small city. Word travels fast, and egos definitely clash. When words reached Gilly, he felt Cassidy had backstabbed him. In fact, the only fond memory he had of Cassidy was their closeness, nothing more. So why did he switch up like that?
I actually had love for young boy.
You know it's dead.
I shouted him out on the DVD and did some tape, got rewinded. I see on there talking slick about me.
There was back and forth for a bit, but everything died down. In fact, Gilly insisted there was no bad blood between them regardless. But it was not for too long. In 2008, Gilly decided he was set. He pulls up in Cassidy's hood, films a whole response, basically saying, you're not running nothing out here, fam. I'm the one holding it down.
I got to go directly to your hood. And my line cameraman. So the minute I seen the footage, I called gangsters up from his hood and go directly to his hood.
Right here, brother. First back to basic DVD.
Directly to his hood.
At that point, it wasn't just rap anymore. It was personal. Now, the background to all of this is that Cassidy felt like Gilly was talking big when he called himself the King of Philly without the credentials to back it up. In Cass's eyes, he had the hits, the battles, and the city's respect. So why is Gilly out here calling himself the king?
How though? Gilly don't even got a song out. Like, that's a silly question. But they've been doing it for years. He don't got a single out. Is he even signed to a label? It's like, what is he doing right now? So to compare him to me, that's not even like, I don't even get that. Like, how can he be?
And of course, the streets kept the gossip alive. Gilly figured Cassidy was soft, too far removed from real street life, while Cassidy thought Gilly was just loud with no hits to back up his claims. Cassidy's camp even hinted that the whole King of Philly talk rubbed him the wrong way.
I ain't gotta sit there and argue about who's really the king. Just prove that you hold weight. Really get the streets to show you that you're the king. Like, if I go to Philly, it's gonna be an uproar right now.
And Gilly's people clapped back, reminding everyone that Cassidy wasn't the only one who put in work. It was classic battle rapper versus street OG energy. And in a city like Philly, there wasn't enough room for both to shine without stepping on each other's toes. But in December 2008, Beanie Sigel tried to play peacemaker by organizing a brotherly love concert to squash the tension in Philly's hip-hop scene. As part of the truce, Cassidy and Gilly decided to let bygones be bygones. They were even scheduled to share the stage at Transit nightclub on December 7th, 2008, showing the city they were cool, for the moment at least. They shook hands, performed together, and it looked like the long-running back and forth was finally over. But of course, the peace didn't last. Fast forward a few years to 2011, and Gillie Da Kid was back at it, throwing jabs at Cassidy in a video that made the rounds online. In the clip, which popped up on blogs that year, Gilly was talking slick, hinting that the old King of Philly debate wasn't quite dead. It's unclear what sparked the new shots. Maybe people kept bringing up Cassidy in interviews, but it was clear that the tension never fully disappeared. Cassidy, though, didn't really entertain the drama publicly and things cooled off again, at least for a while. But then, 2019 hit and things got real again. Cassidy stepped into the battle rap world against Goods on URL, and let's be honest, he took a serious L.
Alright, Cassidy, you go first.
Split your melon to the white meat with no melanin found.
Gilly, who's got deep ties in the battle rap scene, didn't hold back. He hopped on his podcast and went in on Cassidy, clowning his performance. Cassidy, of course, wasn't about to let that slide. In an interview, he brushed off Gilly's criticism, claiming, "Gilly ain't even see the battle, man. It's like y'all be talking about these niggas don't even judge battle rap. I never seen Gilly judging no battle rap before. He ain't even effing see the battle. He probably just heard a bunch of like, yo, Cass on the stage, people screaming out 3-0, people in the front booing."
Battle, man. It's like, y'all talking about these niggas don't even judge battle rap. I never seen Gilly judging no battle rap before.
Fair enough.
He ain't even see the battle. He probably just heard a bunch of niggas like, yo.
Gilly wasn't having it. Days later, he hits Instagram with a couple of videos where he confirms he saw the battle, and well, he didn't hold back. He said Cassidy laid a brown egg, and just to make things clear, he warned him to keep his name out of his mouth.
You gonna be easy work for Cassidy. And then Cassidy got down to Atlanta and laid a brown egg. On stage, arguing with the crowd.
And Gilly didn't mince words. He basically told Cassidy, just because I'm out here being a leader in the community and positive role model for the kids, don't disrespect me, man. Don't make me update my work on you, boy, cause you know I catch your ass. And I'll check your temperature. Then I will take that mother effer from 100 to room temperature real fast.
Let me tell you something, man. Just because I'm out here and I'm being a leader in the community and I'm being a positive role model for the kids, don't disrespect me, man.
He continued, if you don't have anything positive to say, positive about me, man, don't mention me at all, man.
If you ain't got nothing to say positive about me, man, don't mention me at all, man.
Over the years, the beef between Cassidy and Gilly layered. Ego, city pride, and a whole lot of history. And every time you think it's cooled off, one of them finds a reason to stir the pot again. Classic Philly drama. The hardcore URL crowd didn't hold back, dragging Cassidy's performance and siding with Gilly's critiques. Twitter, or X if you're fancy, became a battleground. Cassidy's supporters swore Gilly was just a bitter loudmouth, while Gilly's fans insisted Cassidy was washed and living off past glory. Even people in the industry couldn't resist chiming in. Gilly's podcast partner Wallow mostly played the neutral card, but you could tell he was loving the chaos. Other Philly rappers like A-Rab casually added fuel to the fire. A-Rab even pointed out that Gilly pulled up to his neighborhood, proving he wasn't just talking tough. And while Meek Mill stayed out of it publicly, considering his own history with Cassidy, you know he was watching from the sidelines. Now, did they ever drop full-blown diss tracks? Not exactly. Not one either of their fans know of. But the musical jabs are definitely there. Cassidy's a battle rap beast. He's all about those live freestyles instead of wasting time on a studio diss. Back in 07, he dropped a freestyle on one of those classic street DVDs with lines like, "I walk with the shells, no Adidas on," and everyone immediately thought it was aimed at Gilly. And on Day Formula, in 2020, Cass is still talking his talk, making it clear he still thinks he's leagues above everyone, including Gilly.
For years, been counting me out, man. They thought it was over for me.
Philly fans were hungry for a full-on battle, but instead they got a mix of freestyles, social media shots, and thinly veiled threats. Cassidy wasn't wasting a whole track on Gilly. He let his bars speak for themselves. Meanwhile, Gilly's infamous room temperature warning sounded like a line ripped straight from a diss track that never dropped. It's not exactly on the level of Biggie versus Tupac with full-on diss records, but the tension was real. Big time? By 2021, the Cassidy versus Gilly saga was still going strong, because of course neither of these guys knows how to let things go. Cassidy jumped into another interview breaking down the roots of their beef and making it crystal clear. I run Philly, not him. I've always been that guy. And Gilly wasted no time at all. He hit Instagram with his usual energy, calling Cassidy washed up, irrelevant, and basically a ghost in the rap game. By the time 2023 rolled around, things seemed to cool off, at least on the surface. Gilly was busy leveling up with his podcast empire, while Cassidy kept dropping mixtapes. But don't get it twisted, the tension didn't just disappear. This feud isn't some clean linear timeline. It's one of those things that flares up whenever either of them feels disrespected, and Philly just loves to keep the drama alive. Honestly, the real MVP in all of this is Philly itself. This beef isn't just about two rappers, it's about the city's rap culture, where respect is everything, and nothing comes easy. Philly's always had a chip on its shoulder, feeling overlooked by bigger scenes like New York and LA, and that gritty, prove-yourself mentality runs deep. Cassidy and Gilly are basically just two sides of that same coin. The city's rap scene is basically split into two camps, battle rap and street rap, and these two embody both. Cassidy made his name in the battle circuits where bars and delivery are king. Think back to the early 2000s, Broad Street battles, Reed Dollaz, Joey Jihad. Cassidy was right in the mix, earning his stripes.
On top of that, I can rock with that. The boy nice, the price, roll.
Gilly, on the other hand, came up through the street rap scene where it's not just about lyrics, it's about your hustle and street cred.
While I bring the pain, sort of a method intercepted on a different level of black.
He carried that Major Figgis energy, drawing inspiration from Philly legends like Beanie Siegel. And because Philly's neighborhoods are so tight-knit, North Philly, Uptown, South Philly, everybody knew what was going down. This wasn't just a rap beef, it was a neighborhood clash. Cassidy brought the battle rap swagger, while Gilly repped the street hustler mentality, and they both wanted to wear the crown. When you consider the city's rough reputation, like booing legends at the Apollo or Meek Mill's come up, it makes sense why this rivalry felt so personal. Radio DJs like Cosmic Kev kept the flames burning, spinning both their tracks without picking sides, while the streets soaked up every word. Even the slang got involved. Gilly's room temperature line turned into a whole Philly-style threat, further proving how much the city shaped their beef. This wasn't some flashy trap beef like Atlanta or a lyrical chess match like New York. This was raw, unfiltered Philly energy. Back in 07, the city was buzzing. It was like a civil war. Cassidy had the battle rap purists and mainstream fans who rocked with Hotel, while Gilly had the street crowd backing his every move. At first, industry heavyweights kept their distance. Swizz Beatz, who had mentored Cassidy, stayed quiet, and Lil Wayne, Gilly's old nemesis, wasn't about to get involved. And here's the wild part. Public opinion actually shifted over time. By the 2020s, Gilly's relentless grind with his $1 million worth of game podcast flipped the script. Fans started seeing Cassidy as a relic from a bygone era, while Gilly became the face of Philly's modern hustle. YouTube comments reflected the shift. People went from hyping up Cassidy to warning him not to push Gilly's buttons. So when did Cassidy realize Gilly wasn't just talking? Honestly, it probably hit him during that heated Instagram rant in 2019. Gilly wasn't playing, and those threats felt real. But this beef isn't some quick, flashy clash. It's been simmering for years, growing from the DVD era to the podcast age. At the heart of it, it's Cassidy's sharp lyrical skills versus Gilly's raw street credibility, and neither side is backing down. To really get where this tension comes from, you've got to rewind to their Philly roots. Cassidy, born Barry Adrian Reese on July 7, 1982, made a name for himself in the late 90s as a battle rap phenom, dropping relentless freestyles and crushing competitions. By the end of the decade, he had formed the Larceny Family Crew, which caught the attention of Swizz Beatz' father, Terrence Dean. That connection led to a deal with Rough Riders' subsidiary label TD Entertainment. Cassidy's first major break came in 2000 when he appeared on the track Ride or Die Boys from Ride or Die Vol. 2, a serious cosign. He even co-wrote Eve's track Got It All, proving he had pen game beyond just battle raps. By 2002, Cassidy had locked in a deal with Swizz Beatz' full-surface imprint under Rough Riders and J Records. His commercial debut single, Hotel, featuring R. Kelly, dropped in 2003 and became a massive hit, landing in the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. He followed it up with Get No Better, featuring Mashonda, and in 2004, his first album, Split Personality, dropped and went gold in just a month. Cassidy wasn't slowing down. In 2005, he dropped I'm a Hustler, a track that became an anthem, and his second album of the same name debuted at number 5 on the Billboard 200, moving 93,000 units in its first week. But life outside the studio got messy. After legal issues and a serious car accident, Cassidy bounced back in 2007 with his third album, Bars the Barry Adrian Reese Story. Led by the Swizz Beatz, produced My Drink and My Two Step. The album hit number 10 on the charts. By 2009, Cassidy switched things up and signed with Carmelo Anthony's Crossover Entertainment. While working on his fourth studio album, he dropped a mixtape series called Apply Pressure, keeping his name buzzing. In 2010, he released a 5-track EP, Face to Face, and later that year, his fourth album, California. S.H. Cass a Straight Hustler hit shelves. It didn't match the sales of his earlier projects, only moving around 5,200 copies in its first week. By 2012, Cassidy was still grinding. He dropped his Mayhem Music mixtape and followed it up with Mayhem Music AP3 a couple of months later. But things really got spicy when fellow Philly rapper Meek Mill threw out the idea of battling Cassidy. Cassidy said he was down, but only if the money was right. What followed was a full-blown Twitter feud, and Cassidy responded by dropping The Diary of a Hustler, which people thought was a shot at Meek, but he later denied it. Both rappers demanded $100,000 to step in the ring, but when Meek clowned Cassidy's track Condom Style, a parody of Psy's viral hit, Cassidy fired back with Me, Myself, and iPhone, taking direct aim at Meek. Meek wasn't about to let that slide and clapped back with Repo, which he said would be his final diss.
Body cast, put him in a body bag. We should put you in.
Cassidy kept the energy going, insisting the beef wasn't personal. It was just part of the competitive nature of hip-hop, but he wasn't done yet. On January 6, 2013, he dropped a 10-minute-long diss track called Raid to really drive his point home.
Cause the that you twit just only gonna make it worse. You a dry snitch.
Later that year, he released his album Da Science, proving his pen was still sharp. On the other hand, Gillie Da Kid, real name Nasser Fard, had carved out his own lane. Born on July 31, 1984 in Philadelphia, he was a standout at Ben Franklin High School before heading to Cabrini College to study business while playing basketball and running track. In the 90s, he made waves as a member of the Philly rap group Major Figgis, which dominated the city's underground scene with independent releases. The group eventually landed a deal with Suave House Records in Houston, but when the label's distribution deal with Universal fell through, Gilly decided to go solo. A backstage meeting with the CEO of Cash Money Records changed everything. Gilly signed with the label and became a key ghostwriter, but due to behind-the-scenes publishing disputes, his own projects never saw the light of day. Still, his influence was undeniable, and while music was his first love, Gilly also dabbled in acting. He made his film debut in King of the Avenue, 2010, and produced The Wrath of Cain, aka Caged Animal. In 2013, he even shared the screen with action legend Steven Seagal in Force of Execution. His hustle didn't stop there. By 2017, he co-produced Blood Brother, a gritty drama about a Philly thug trying to escape his past for love, which earned critical praise. He also landed roles in the TV series Chase Street, playing North Phil, appearing in multiple episodes between 2017 and 2020. And if that wasn't enough, he portrayed T.I. in the 2019 TV movie The Probe. Back in the day, the tension between Cassidy and Gilly was the stuff of Philly rap legend. But fast forward to today, things have quieted down.
Me and Gilly never really had no beef. Misunderstanding. And we from the same city. He had a buzz in the city before me.
Both men seem to be focused on their own lanes. No more diss tracks, just legacies cemented in the city's hip-hop history.